How to play Heroes of Fairy Tail. This is a 1 to 4 player drafting game that takes about 40 minutes. To set up the game, we take out the components and set up the guild quest cards. Divide them up into the distinct groups of S, A, and B. Ensure that the top card of each pile is the darker emblem, which are the starting quest cards, but the quests underneath can be shuffled. Next, shuffle and reveal 3 adversary cards. Then, take the constellation tokens, which are the rectangles, and randomize them face down. For this video, I'm showing you the types of tokens you can pick up: red hindrances, instant effects, or black buffs. After, take the Fairy Tail Guild emblems and give each player one to represent them. Have a pile of damage tokens available for the group within reach. The next phase is recruitment. Shuffle the hero cards and deal each player 5 cards face down. These will be drafted, so select one, place it face down in front of you, and then pass your hand of cards to the next player, probably clockwise if that's what the group determined. Reveal your chosen cards at the same time. The next card that you choose from the next hand must be placed to the left or right of an existing card. Activation of heroes occurs from left to right, with each player doing their first card's action in turn, then second, and so on. Ideally, you will want to make cards that can complete this colorful circles, as this is how you can take damage counters. For the video, we'll focus on the red and blue player. As you draft cards, you'll want to select heroes based on their effects, flags, and damage counters. After you draft 4 out of the 5 cards, all players will discard the unused card from the game. Now that everyone has drafted their lineup of heroes, we determine starting player based on who has the most flag points combined. The top blue player has a total of 5 versus the bottom red player of 4. Blue starts with their leftmost card, Lucy, and must choose one of the 2 actions divided by the slash. Choose a constellation tile or heal. Since there is no damage on the blue player's lineup, choosing a random constellation token is the better choice. A red hindrance tile is chosen and must be placed to specific rules, which in this case can only be placed on an opponent's hero that has the first symbol. The symbol is fighting an adversary, so I'll place it on either Mystagon or Gray. Now, with the hindrance, Gray can only fight 2 adversaries and must roll a red damage dice. Red player goes and activates either go on a quest using the Fairy Tail emblem or heal a damage on their lineup. Bringing the quest cards back, ensuring the darker emblem cards are on top, we'll assess our risks. The amount of damage we can take is determined by the amount of full circles on our lineup of heroes. The gray circles can hold generic damage, whereas the colored circles can hold red fire, yellow lightning, or blue ice damage. You may also put generic damage counters on each of the colored circles. To determine the damage received, you must roll a dice and look for the specific icons matching the elements or generic hits. For example, the yellow dice is required for the quest, the Scaled Danger. A lightning damage is rolled, and a damage counter must be placed on a yellow circle. Let's say a green dice was rolled, and a double hit was rolled. We could place it on a gray circle and a red circle if desired. Let's say the red dice was rolled, and double fire was rolled. Unfortunately, for the bottom red player, they don't have enough red circles for the fire damage and gain no points. The blue player has 2 red circles and would have succeeded though. So let's pretend the red player chose to play risky and chose the S rank quest. This would be their role, and we will start placing our damage. Since they cannot place all of the damage counters, their turn ends, placing as many damage counters as possible within rule restrictions, and then fails the quest. Turn 2 of the blue player, and they can attack a max of 1 adversary or heal. When attacking, roll a dice for each adversary attacked. Green has the lowest risks, then yellow, then red is the most dangerous. Luckily, no damage was rolled, so I don't place a damage counter. You can then choose an adversary card to take. Make sure to replace the adversary cards available to fight after the battle. Turn 2 of the red player, and they activate Evergreen's power of gaining 2 victory points immediately instead of healing. Using the score tracker and your colored circles, move the red score marker up by 2. Turn 3 of blue, and they choose to go on a quest, rank B. They roll the yellow dice indicated, and it's ice damage. Unfortunately, no blue ice circle is available, and they gain nothing. There is no other damage to receive either. Turn 3 of red, and they choose to fight an adversary or heal. Since they would likely lose a fight, they choose to heal, and they heal the gray circle with the 1 star on Evergreen. Turn 4 of blue, and they go on a quest. Roll a red dice, and suffer 1 generic damage. They then place one of their colored circle marker on the highest valued position, indicating they have completed that mission. Subsequent players completing the same mission earn less points. The score tracker circles have a plus 50 on their backside, flipped if you exceed the scoreboard. Turn 4 of red, and they are required to fight 2 adversaries, in addition to rolling the red dice. Because they are fighting 2 adversaries, they roll the green and yellow already, so the red is added on after. So to clean up the round, we add up any victory points earned from the revealed gray circles, like on Evergreen for on player red. Remove the damage counters and put them aside. Now you must remove 3 party members permanently from your lineup, any 3, and keep the remaining 1. I'll choose Lucy. So for player red, for the video, they'll keep gray. Any cards kept will also keep their constellation tile on them, which is bad for red in this example. Now we repeat the card drafting recruitment phase. Deal 5 cards to each player. Choose one and place it beside the existing card. Pass your remaining cards to the next player. For this example, I'll place the 4 heroes down to show a completed lineup for round 2. Now they have 5 heroes instead of 4. The next round after will have a max of 6 heroes. Makarov in this example has no effect, but with the strategic planning of Lucy in front and activating cards left to right, we can grab a random constellation tile and then place it on Makarov, giving him an effect when the turn reaches him. So for player blue's lineup, they have a similar strategy. The final round 3 will have a total of 6 cards lined up. If we move on to round 3, the final round, we'd remove 3 cards again, any 3, and the remaining cards slide together to close the gap. The 4 new heroes drafted cannot go in between cards, only to the left or right of the lineup. At the end of the game, you count up the victory points earned from your adversary cards. These cards with the colored dots need to be part of a set to achieve the higher point total, which is 2 per card in the set. Do not reuse them for another set. Then incompleted cards are only worth 1 each. Blue here has a card with a blue and red on it, which can complete a set. Now the yellow background cards have unique effects or flat points. These 2 cards are worth 4 points if we have 7 adversary cards, which we have 8 in total. The player with the most victory points is the winner. Going on guild quests are an effective way to earn points. When the missions are filled up, remove the card and move on to the next card beneath. The requirements on the cards are either suffer the damage illustrated, roll a dice, have a certain amount of adversary cards, or a mix of taking damage and rolling the dice. The game Heroes of Fairy Tail has the English and French rulebook. The references for the constellation tiles, adversary effects, and dice probability are in the back. The translations are spot on, and the game is decently explained with basic examples. The only ambiguous part was starting the next round and increasing your lineup from 4 members to 5 to 6, which I inferred based on the paragraph written in English and French. Officially licensed by Don't Panic Games, it is available exclusively in Europe. Thanks for watching.